Thank you for joining me this evening, 30th of March 2020. This is my live broadcast this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending on where you are watching me around the world. The awareness for disintegration of Nigeria and for the freedom of Biafra Republic continues. Welcome to join my live broadcast this evening as I will be taking you to a journey of critical thinking. Join me. Let us listen to the national anthem of Biafra Republic. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, depending on where you are.
What you are watching now is 2011
before I start,
2020 of this man.
Before
this man in
I start,
2011 was campaigning
I would
for
want to
President
let you
Buhari
people
and also
know
for
one thing.
El-Rufai of Kaduna State in 2011.
As you can see,
and this is what he has.
As you can see, this video that was just playing now is one of the video I posted today, but that is not why I'm here. Now let me show you something. Before I go, or before I start, you are watching my live broadcast today, 30th of March 2020. This is actually my second live broadcast. My first live broadcast was almost very early in the morning, around 12 something a.m. Now I have come again this evening as the struggle for Biafra freedom continues. One peculiar thing, one important thing, one thing about Biafrans is that Biafrans are scattered all over the world. There is no any other nation in the entire planet that has traveled as Biafrans. Biafrans are scattered all over the world, and the restoration of Biafra, the freedom of Biafra, will become the biggest movement in human history. Not only that Biafrans are scattered all over the world, but Biafrans are setting records in different parts of the world. Everything they are engaging, they are the best. From the European Union to the United States of America, the best doctors, the best students, what have you, are all Biafra names. If you doubt me, you can go and Google it. Check the names of the students that are doing very well all over the world. They have Biafra names. And it is not like a pride, but this is a fact. And that is why most of those who know exactly what Biafra will become will stop at nothing to fight against the restoration of Biafra. But as Biafrans has continued to distinguish themselves all over the world in their different endeavors, so we shall do everything humanly, spiritually, physically, and otherwise possible to restore Biafra Republic. And Biafra Republic is already around the corner. And we will stop at nothing until Biafra is restored. The generation of this Biafra are not the generation of Biafran of 1960s. This I will continue to say every day of my life. We have proven ourselves all over the world. These are not the type of Biafrans you see in the 60s. Even though the Biafra of 60s did a very great job, we are proud of them. We are proud of our fallen heroes. We are proud of our past leaders. We are proud of all those who laid down their life for Biafra freedom during the war. We can never be as much as proud as we are for them. We respect them and we always honor them until their kingdom come. Now, I want to take you to a journey this evening of what I called the critical thinking. You see, the coronavirus pandemic is about to ravage Nigeria, and like you all know, it has been estimated that about 40 million people may die in Nigeria. And Biafra freedom fighters, Biafra agitators, we are always serving humanity. It is also for this reason our responsibility to always come and guide you and talk and tell you exactly what is happening globally. But that is not why I'm here this evening. Why I'm here this evening is to continue to tell you why Nigeria can never work. Why I have come this evening to have this live video is to continue to enlighten and create awareness, to tell you that supporting Nigeria is digging your grave. I have come to tell you this evening that if you support Nigeria, you are digging your 6 feet with your own hand. So, the president of Nigeria, or the presidency, I should say, has given directive or has given an order for total lockdown of, is it Nigeria or some selected state. Now, a lot of people are criticizing the president's decision, including from respectable lawyers, from activists, saying that the president have done wrong. I have come this evening to tell you that it was not just wrong, but it is a very dangerous dimension that this presidency have taken. They have been making these decisions and nobody seems to care. The president has single-handedly made decisions that if Nigeria were to be a country, by today, he should have been impeached. A lot of decisions that the president has made in the past are all impeachable decisions. And because Nigeria is never a country, Nigeria is never a democratic country, and you can still see him today, contested election. He didn't win the election. Election was not conducted in Nigeria. He come back and still maintain and remain the president. This is very dangerous precedence that the presidents that this APC and this presidency controlled by terrorists in Nigeria has adopted, and the presidency is very dangerous one. I have made some video in the past telling you that the only thing that will save you, you that is residing in Nigeria today, and you are not from the north, the only thing that will save you in Nigeria is Nigeria disintegration. Apart from that, your days are numbered. Apart from that, you can never be safe in Nigeria. But the only thing that will save you is the disintegration of Nigeria. Now, join me as I take you to this journey of critical thinking. I am going to start from January 2019. I have to start from April 2018 or so. After that, of course, I'm going to what I'm going to show you today is going to be between 2018 to 2020, and a lot of people are just coming today to say the president has done wrong. Yes, the president has done wrong. The decision to lock down Nigeria is illegal. It is dangerous without the approval of the National Assembly. But this is not the first time. Now, follow me to this journey. You see, what you are looking at now is Vanguard News of January 28, 2019. In 2019, the YDP chairman said Buhari has shown his disregard for Nigeria constitution. The question you should be asking yourself is, do Nigeria have a functional constitution? I will answer that question directly and very simple. The answer is no. Nigeria, as I'm talking to you today, the Constitution of Nigeria has been technically suspended. And you can only be thinking reasonably for you to come to this conclusion that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been technically suspended. This Constitution has been suspended not because the Nigerians are not aware of the suspension of the Constitution, not because the National Assembly voted to suspend the Constitution, not because Nigerians are dumb, which most of Nigerians are, but it is because you have given the opportunity to this terrorist man who calls himself president to know that you are afraid of him. It is because he has used the Fulani Mayete Allah to commit a lot of ethnic cleansing in Nigeria, and they have become point and kill government. It is because you are so afraid of your life that you cannot fight like a man to defend your country against invaders, against Fulani invaders. Today, the Constitution of Nigeria has been technically suspended. I am going to prove that to you this evening. Now, join me again as we go on this journey. You see what you are looking at now, like I said, apart from this the claim coming from all quarters about the disregard for Nigeria Constitution by this president, you remember, all of you remember this, in 2018, $496 million withdrawal. Tension as Chinda moved for Buhari impeachment. This was when the Sarakis and co were still at the National Assembly. If you have forgotten this story, I want to tell you a little bit about this story. I'm not going to go into reading the articles, but I'm going to tell you the story behind this particular report. This is the story of the President of Nigeria withdrawing money without the approval of the National Assembly to purchase helicopter, gun helicopter, or whatever it is called, from the United States of America. That money was withdrawn, and the news broke, and Nigerians condemned it. But you know what? In 2018, when this news broke, a lot of people were siding the president of Nigeria out of their ignorance, including the professor of law. According to them, he is the senior advocate of Nigeria and professor of law, the vice president, Yemi Osibanjo. Osibanjo has become the biggest disgrace to Yoruba nation, because you cannot be a professor of law and a senior advocate of Nigeria, and a lot of impunity are happening in Nigeria, and your profession is being ridiculed, your profession has become chaff, your profession has been scrabbled, everything, the degrading treatment on your colleagues has become like never before. And you, as a vice president, Yemi Osibanjo, you keep mute. You never stand to speak against the government of which you are serving. Even if you don't need to speak against your own government, but at least you should have stood up and put culpability where culpability is. But that you have not been doing since 2015. And that is really bringing some kind of questions to like-minded Nigerians to send Nigerians that what kind of professor of law are you? What kind of senior advocate of Nigeria are you? Above all, you are a pastor, or you were a pastor. And that is another ridicule to the Christendom. It is a very big ridiculing of the Christian faith. Your attitude so far, the professor of law, has become so laughable that Christians are ashamed to identify themselves that you were once their pastor. Now, let me continue. Today, the president has come to give this directive, and there is one particular one I would like to read to you all. This particular one. This particular report of today, 30th of March 2020. I would like to read a little bit of this. Buhari has no power to restrict movement. Adegboruwa. Adegboruwa is also a senior advocate of Nigeria. Let me read a little bit of this so that I will come with my analysis. Now, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Ebum Olu Adegboruwa, said on Sunday, President Muhammadu Buhari has no power to restrict movement in Lagos and Abuja. It is not only in Lagos and Abuja, but he has no right to restrict the movement all over Nigeria, irrespective of what pandemic that is going on. The president of Nigeria has no right to restrict movement from other states of the federation. 1. In a statement made available to Vanguard, Adegboruwa said the president has no power to restrict the movement of persons without recourse to the National Assembly. The president has not invoked his power under the Constitution to declare any state of emergency, which must be approved by the National Assembly. This is correct. The president has no power. The president has no power to restrict any movement in any state of the federation. He has no such power. It must go through the National Assembly. And I'm coming to analyze this because this is the loopholes a lot of you are not paying attention to. And these small loopholes have become well that is swallowing Nigeria. It has become well that anybody that nears it, it jumps inside, that is the end of that person. This pothole, these small holes that these people they created since 2015, every little thing, you will come to social media, you will go to newspaper like this senior advocate of Nigeria did now, you will talk and nothing will happen. And the president will do what he wants to do because you are not the one he is listening to. He is listening to Mayete Allah that have changed their name. Mayete Allah is the advisors of the president. And whatever they say is what the president is going to do. If you oppose the president of Nigeria, if Lawal tomorrow, which he don't even know his senior president of Nigeria, he don't know his duties. So if Lawal tomorrow start impeachment of the president for breaching the constitution with impunity, do you know what they are going to do to him? Even though he's from their side, they are going to send Mayete Allah to go and assassinate him. They are going to kill him. And that is why it is called point and kill government. You see? And because they have used this threat and terrorism to scare all of you, the only thing you can do is to come online, is to go to newspaper and you talk, condemn. It is wrong against constitution. And at the end of the day, nothing will happen. That is, they have tested you and they know that you are nothing. They know that with all your education, you are nothing. Fulani cow headers will take you and muzzle you like a chin-chin. That is why they are doing this, because they have tested you. In 2016, they tested you. You did nothing. The president took decision, and without the National Assembly, it has been cat and rat fight between the presidency and Senator Saraki. Saraki hold that power. Even no matter how you hate Saraki, he hold that power and made sure that the president and the presidency were on their foot or on their toes. And most of you don't like Saraki because of that. But he saved a lot of things in Nigeria. And in this current National Assembly, you will see how important Senator Bukola Saraki were. No matter how as bad you think he is, he did a lot of things to save Nigeria. But now you have what is called rubber stamp Senate, who don't even know the Constitution, the wording. They don't know, this Senate president now don't know the wording of the Nigeria Constitution. He can't read it very well. That is number two. So I want to continue to read to tell you what I want to tell you this evening. Follow me. Now, we are running a constitutional democracy, and it is illegal for the president to take over affairs of any state of the federation without the express consent of the people of the state through their elected representative. This is also fact. The president, by doing this, has breached the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the punishment for this kind of gross breach of Constitution is impeachment of the president. Now, let me continue. It is only governor of the state through the House of Assembly of the state that can make any declaration concerning people of that state. Little wonder that the president could not cite any law that relied upon for his decision, for his declaration. Now, you see this? It is also fact and legally and constitutionally correct. The president have no right whatsoever to restrict the movement of Nigeria citizens in the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT. Now, let me continue. He said, I support every measure taken to contain the coronavirus pandemic, but such must be in accordance with the law. If we allow this to stay, then tomorrow the president may just impose a total restriction on all states of the Federation for whatsoever reason. There is where I want to talk about. You see, in 2019, precisely, let me bring it up so you will be seeing it as I'm analyzing this. Let me bring this on. You see, here, in 2019, if Nigeria are people that keep records, this senior advocate of Nigeria wouldn't say this, because he knows that the president has committed the biggest gross of breach of Constitution since 2016. Him coming here to say it is dangerous that the president may one day restrict the movement of in other states for no just reason is really unbelievable, because I believe this senior advocate of Nigeria was still alive or was in Nigeria when the president removed the CGN on again and nothing happened. He removed the CGN illegally and tell you, let the heaven fall. And the heaven did not fall. And if you, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, did not make references to other misconduct of the president in the past, and this is the only one you remember, then I think all of you have some questionable critical thinking. You have some questionable critical thinking as a senior advocate of Nigeria, because the president has have breached the Constitution with impunity since 2016. And that is what we call in law setting precedents. He said, so you should have said that in the first time the president committed or breached the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But guess what? All of you were playing politics because it was not as bad as it is now. So you overlooked the president and his gross misconduct, the breach of Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with impunity. You overlooked it because you were still managing, patching to see how you can share the national cake. Which tribe? Osinbajo is there as vice president. He is my person. You were being economical with the truth. So you allowed the president to commit this impunity in 2016 and he didn't condemn it. Rather, you were fighting Bukola Saraki. All of you were fighting Bukola Saraki, who was trying to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But because of your political interest, probably APC was new. The president was new in 2016. So you didn't know it is coming up to this point. Then you turned blind eye to the fact that the president of Nigeria has breached the Constitution several times, year to year, and you did not condemn it. No, it is not just enough that you condemn it, but what are the judiciary in Nigeria doing to make sure that the Constitution of Nigeria is upheld by any person from the president of Nigeria down to the lowest person? But you people are not doing it because you were protecting your interests. Today, you have lost hope in the interests you wanted to protect. And that is why you cannot have a reflect of what impunity these people have committed, how they have technically abandoned and suspended the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on several occasions. And today, you are only waking up. If you were sleeping from how many years till now, and you are waking up now, it will be understandable. Or if you have been into bottle and you were locked in the bottle, and now they released you from the bottle, you come out, it will be understandable. But for you to come to say, if we allow this will happen. Maybe he will go. He's going to restrict movement in other states without no reason. If you, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, that should be reasonable in your critical thinking, should come and say this without making references and remembering all the impunities they have done in the past, then Nigeria is really not only. It is not only the politicians that are problem of Nigeria, but those who claim they can speak good English, those who claim they have studied law, those who claim they are professors, are actually the biggest problem of Nigeria. Because you continue to misrepresent the institution that taught you how to think, how to solve problems, how to reason, and how to live and engage on your professional or profession. It is a disgrace. It is a very big disgrace. And this is reflecting in the Nigeria state of today. That is why nothing is. That is why a Fulani who don't go to school. That is why Magu, somebody like Magu will come and they impose Magu on you as EFCC boss. And all of you, the educated, supposedly educated persons, you don't do nothing about it because you actually have only certificate and you can read and write. There is nothing upstairs. All your brains are empty. You are a disgrace to the higher institution of learning. If you have been to school and obtained any degree, you are a disgrace because none of you are thinking correctly. How can you, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, how can you people come and you begin to make noise? The president order is illegal. The president order is unconstitutional. If you allow him, he may do this, he may do that. When Biafra man was illegally sacked, did you tell president, did you tell the entire world that if we allow these things to continue to happen, the president may wake up one day and restrict movement in all states of Nigeria without no reason? Did you ever thought of that? Did you think that president will wake up today during the coronavirus pandemic and impose restriction in Lagos State without the approval, or in any state at all, without the approval of the National Assembly, because it touches Lagos State? And of course, you see it as an insult. You see the impunity in the decision of the president. But during the time the CGN on was illegally removed, you did not see that impunity. During the time the president approved $490-something million to purchase aircraft illegally without the consent of the National Assembly, you did not see that side of the president. When the president were trying or even approved $1 billion for procurement of arms, you did not see that without the consent of the National Assembly. You all did not see that. You turned blind eye because the money will somehow misroad and come to you. You have already made your contact. Somebody is telling you this money must be released so that we will get our share. And for that, you close your eye to the fact that Nigeria is sinking and let them release the money. The president, a lot of well-thinking Nigerians came out to say this was wrong. But is it only to come and say? No. In a country that is functional, it is an impeachable offense. Impeachable. Because it's a very high misconduct, gross breach of Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the president to single-handedly approve fund with a total disregard to the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as enshrined in the Constitution. And this has been going on, and these are the same people who were telling us, even if the president have NEPA bill, they will accept him. Today you have seen the NEPA bill. You are shouting every day for one thing or the other that this president or the presidency that are doing. Every day, one problem or the other, one breach of constitution or the other. And you, because it is Lagos, you can now speak out that the president don't have the right. And you even went, the one that surprises me now, that he went further to say, if we allow this. Now, listen to this. The people of the week in Nigeria, I call them the weak people. The weak people. Look at them. The only thing they did was to give president 7 days to reverse suspension of Onaga. What happened? They rubbished them. All of them, as you are looking at them like this, they have nothing upstairs only this week. Only this week. And that is why the Fulani man who did not go to the 4 walls of university will come and deal with them. That is why what the man called Tanko Mohammed, these people you see spend spend thousands and thousands of hours to study and read law. You see? And somebody with a Sharia law background come to become their CGN. You see why Nigeria can never work? And all of them, as you look at them here, elderly people who are supposed to be leading this country and making very critical decisions, making very good and brilliant decisions for the judiciary, they are here giving ultimatum, 7 days ultimatum for the president to reverse. Now, after that ultimatum, what happened? Nothing. And that is where the president has been set. This is where the president has been set. Because the Fulanis have just realized that you are all rubbish. With your gown and your wig, they have just realized that you are powerless. They have just realized that you are of no value. That is why the president can wake up and impose anything he wants to impose on you, and you will be shouting. In fact, the one that is even breaking my heart is always the lawyers divided over president decision. Lawyers divided. You will begin to see the news. Lawyers divided. This senior advocate of Nigeria is arguing like this. This advocate of Nigeria is arguing like this under constitutional issues. Under interpretation of Nigeria Constitution, you are divided. You don't know exactly how the president should have done. You don't know what the president should have done. The CGN was removed, and you come to give 7 days ultimatum. After giving 7 days ultimatum, the CGN was even removed in a very big, shameful way. And after that, all of you went into hiding because you have been reduced to zero. Your profession has been reduced and put into mood by these Fulanis. You think they are happy that you are parading yourself with certificate? You think that the Fulanis are happy that you go to Harvard University? You think that Fulanis are happy to see you speaking good English? You think that Fulanis are happy that you cannot make a mistake in pronouncing COVID-19? You think they are happy? You see Magu struggling with coronavirus. It's a corruption virus. He was being corrected in the presence of cameras. He made a mistake. He could not even pronounce coronavirus. He said corruption virus. How can that kind of person read document, classified document, and understand the content of the document? He cannot. This is the fact. And whenever there is issue of reading documents or interpretation of any document, they will invite you from the south to come and write and come and read. It is you, their aide. You as a lawyer that is having this week. Tomorrow, they will call you to appoint you one PA to the president or tell you to come to advisory board of the president. You are the one doing the work. They are using your brain, and then you will go and go to your church, to your pastor, and call your pastor that it has happened, that you are now a committee member or in advisory committee that is going to advise the minister that will advise the president. You will be celebrating it. Mediocrity. You will be celebrating that a Fulani man who did not spend 4 years in school invited you because his brother is the president or his terrorist member is the president. He invited you. You go there with your bag and your suit. You walk, you will be praying. You call your pastor. Pastor, pray for me. I am there now in the office. The person that is inviting you, you are shaking, didn't even go to school. What a shame. This has been going on for ages. But you know what? The generation of Simon Ekpa has come. We will stop at nothing until you reget from your mental slavery. You see this mental slavery that you are? We will stop at nothing until we liberate you. No matter how educated, no matter how many certificates you have acquired for yourself, they are all useless if you cannot come up, stand like a man and speak against the impunity that is going on in Nigeria. It means your education is in vain. You have just studied for nothing. The only thing you do is you are living from day to day. You go and get this contract and they appoint you this, they appoint you that. You will be running from one place to another and making decision, trying to see what to do. And somebody who did not go to school, who cannot pronounce coronavirus, will be taking the glory. Will be taking the glory. Not only that they are taking the glory, on top of your hard work, they are promoting their own brothers. Promoting them. You will be appointed in advisory committee to work underground and bring it to their table to sign. What a shame what a shame. And anytime we come, of course, most of you are watching me now, you know that deep down inside your soul, deep down inside your heart, what I'm saying is really torturing you. It is slapping you from left and right. But guess what? The criminal mind you have will not allow you. Will it? It will not. But when the day they remember you, you see, as you are doing that committee of this, they appointed you this, appointed you that. The day they will remember you, you will vomit everything that you have embezzled from that committee. And this is what they have used to cage all of you. All of you are caged. You know that what we are shouting and preaching for Biafra freedom is nothing but the fact. But because you have been caged with corruption, they will give you money that you did not work for on purpose. Because that is what they are going to cage you in future. Any day you raise your voice, they will come for you. Any day you raise your voice, they will come for you. Ojo Zokalo, you can learn from Ojo Zokalo. Ojo Zokalo was making mouth how he should be the one to be president and not Buhari. He don't know they have his file. You think that he is the only corrupt person in Nigeria? You think that he is the only corrupt ex-governor? The answer is lie. All of them who are in the Senate today are all corrupt from A to Z. But guess what? Anybody who speaks the truth know that his hands are clean. And that is why I doff my heart for Senator Enyinaya Abaribe. If he have any skeleton in his cupboard, they would have shut his mouth. But he don't. When your hands are clean, you will speak to the gods, and the gods will listen. But when you have your hands stained with blood of innocent Nigerians, anytime we are telling you to speak, you will be hiding. When men are talking, you will be hiding. You will be hiding. The thing you want to say will be torturing you and your mind, but you can't say it because you are handicapped, both in the spiritual and in physical. And that is the problem Nigeria is facing today. The problem Nigeria is facing today is the people who have collected bribe where they did not sow, and they are using you and do anything and anyhow they want. Senate president cannot impeach. Even Senator Saraki could not impeach Buhari. When Buhari have breached the constitution, of course he could not impeach Buhari because of the numbers of senators of the APC and the numbers of senators of the PDP. And you can never tell. What if the impeachment fails? What is the fate of those people who participated in the voting and they voted against the government? And their hands are not clean. You see why the impeachment did not happen in Saraki's time? Otherwise, the president committed of impeachable offense so many times. But they could not even go ahead to start collecting signature because it may fail. If the impeachment of the president goes into voting and they won by one vote, you see, the other people that voted against the president are in big soup because none of them have clean hand. And that is why Nigeria is rotting the way it has rotten today. That is why we are telling you Nigeria can never work again. You see these people you see wearing this wig. You see these people you see, they are all corrupt. Highly corrupt. If they are not corrupt, if these people are not corrupt, do you think that the president can single-handedly impose a Sharia judge, not even a judge, a Sharia clerk called Mohammed Tanko, can single-handedly impose that man on them? No! He cannot try it in an independent judiciary. He cannot try it. The people that have the biggest power in any state are the judiciary. The judiciary have the biggest power in any country. Go and any country at all is the judiciary. Once the judiciary has failed, it means the country has failed. And that is the story of Nigeria. The Nigeria you see today, the judiciary has failed, has collapsed, and that is why the country has collapsed. That is why you see the injustice that is going on. That is why you see that a judge can come out and pronounce somebody who was fought in election the winner. America wonder, abracadabra. Abracadabra judges. They will bring what the native doctor will use to do this and twist it and tell you this is impossible. Impossible things are happening in Nigeria, in judiciary, and this is the people who are doing it. You see, it is not only in military, it is not only in security agencies. The biggest problem of Nigeria is these people you see on this week. The biggest problem of Nigeria is this. That is why they will come and issue this threat and giving the president 7 days to reverse suspension. And after that 7 days has passed, nothing happened. We are now in 2020. The Nigerian lawyers under the aegis of coalition of lawyers against corruption. Look, people who claim to be coalition against corruption in Nigeria has given President Muhammad Buhari 7 days to restate the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CGN Walter Onegen. The CGN was suspended yesterday by President Buhari, who said that he acted on an order by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. You see, the president acted on the order of the Code of Conduct without due process. A whole CGN of Nigeria, a whole CGN, removed like chicken. And nothing happened. You see that? Nothing happened. That is a gross breach of Nigeria Constitution. Nothing happened. Now, this has not, because nothing happened. This man you see here, looking like a native doctor. Even native doctor look more better than him. This man you see here, because he is Fulani, being backed by terrorists, being backed by Mayete Allah, he came to threaten Nigeria. He issued Nigeria a threat. He went further to say Buhari had powers to sack Onegen, appoint me acting CGN tells court. Now, from which section of the Constitution is he citing his claim from? Let us read and see from, because anything about law, if you have anything to do with law, you have to always back whatever you do with a certain references, a certain thing, Constitution, and what have you. Let us see where he is getting this power from, or how the president has become have the right to sack Onehon illegally and appoint him. Nobody said that president don't have right to sack. The question is, was this sack according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? And has it undergone what we call due process? The answer is no. And in this particular case, they told you the lawyers were divided about Walter's sack. Divided. At the end of the day, nothing happened. And this is a very dangerous precedent that they have set. But a lot of people didn't see 2020, what was coming. A lot of people didn't see 2020, what was coming. And more are still coming. Now, let us read. The acting CGN of Nigeria, Chief Justice Justice Tanko Mohammed, on Monday challenged the competence of the suit seeking to declare him unfit to head the judiciary. In process, he filed before the Abuja division of the Federal High Court. Justice Mohammed insisted that he was vividly appointed by the President Muhammad Buhari to take control of the judiciary after erstwhile CGN Justice Walter Onegan was charged and subsequently indicted by Code of Conduct Tribunal. He told the court that the CCT had on January 25th directed Justice Onegan to step aside as the CGN, after which he was okayed as his replacement. In a 39-paragraph counter affidavit that was deposited to one Sadiq Ahmed, the acting CGN argued that President Buhari, being the appointing authority, has the power to remove or suspend any occupying office of the CGN. Now, you see, this is to show you that you have what we call empty heads leading Nigeria. He is, as a lawyer, if he is now becoming the chief judge of the Federation, he is telling you where he derived his own constitutional backup or his own law references or the constitutional references is that the president appointed him. Now, he did not tell you the constitution, the section of the Nigeria constitution that gave the president right to appoint him. But what he said was that the president appointed him. Now, let us read again. Why I'm doing this, why I'm reading this is to, I hope that that man, that Yoruba senior advocate of Nigeria will watch this video and know that he made a very big mistake for saying that if we allow the president without reversing this decision on restriction of movement in Nigeria, he will do something else. So I am reminding him the impunity, at least not all the impunity, because there are many. If I begin to analyze all the impunity of this current government, it will take me one day, because the impunity and I have all of them. I have, as you see what I'm doing, I have all the impunities. If I begin to read them and analyze them, we will stay all night here. But the most crucial ones, the one that at least even a baby will be shouting, why did this happen? That is the one I'm touching now. For that man who come today, senior advocate of Nigeria, who come to say, if we allow this restriction of movement, then the president may do something worse. There is nothing worse than what has happened here. This is called the gross breach of Nigeria Constitution. It's an impeachable offense. No matter the kind of indictment the CGN, whatever corruption charges against him, it must undergo the due process according to the Nigeria Constitution. And that did not happen. Now, and to prove that to you, I want to read till the end whether this CGN will cite any constitution, any section of the Constitution of the Nigeria that says that, yes, president have the right to remove you after this or after that has been done. I want to see where it makes, but of course it will not. Nobody in Nigeria is paying attention to all these things. Now they have germinated. And when it did not affect you, you will keep quiet. That is the problem of Nigeria. Once it is not affecting you, you will keep quiet. Because you don't want to step on toes of people you are looking up to for some corrupt money. So you will keep quiet. But immediately it affects you. Hey, you will come and start shouting more than town crier. All the people that have been killed in Nigeria, once it affects you, that is when you will see them shouting. But when the killings, for example, the killing in Benue State, nobody was shouting. It was only we, few people, Biafrans, that are shouting that impunity is going on in Benue State. And few people from the southwest. But immediately they start killing in Yoruba land. Everybody started shouting. Immediately they started killing in Biafra land. Politicians started shouting. The governor started shouting. But when that killing was going on in Benue, you never knew it was coming to you. You never knew. You never knew the killing is coming to Yoruba. And even Yoruba land now, it is even that is even a different, because you know Yoruba, once they conquer Yoruba, we are in trouble. And that is why I will always advocate for common understanding, like the unification of the South, of the entire South, before anything. And when they were killing in Benue State, everybody was telling, okay, let them do it. When they were killing in Sambisa Forest, everybody, when they were killing in the northeast, nobody is so concerned. Everybody is there. But now they are bringing bombs to bomb Yoruba land. Bombs, not just bomb. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu call it gravitational bomb or gravity bomb, which is what it is. Because when you see the magnitude of the damages, you will know it is a gravity bomb. It will, once the bomb explodes, it is not the kind of bomb that will begin to see fired here, fired there. No. Once the bomb explodes, anything near it will vanish. That is how it is. Anything near it will vanish. That is what they are doing in Yoruba land. And more are coming. Go and mark it. More are coming. But when this thing were happening, when we should have learned from what was happening in the north, when we should have learned from what was happening in Benue State, we did not learn from that. Rather, we were feeling so relaxed that they will not come to South. Now they are there. And there is no hiding place. If it don't affect you today, it will affect you tomorrow. But there is hope. The hope is Biafra. The hope is disintegration of Nigeria. Now, let me read it. This Mohammed Tanko, he urged that there was no need for President Buhari to consult either the National Judicial Council or the Federal Judicial Service Commission before the former CGN could be suspended from office. Are you hearing that? This is this current CGN telling you that the president don't need to consult the National Judicial Council or the Federal Judicial Service Commission before he can suspend the CGN. And you see you listen to the trick, of course, because they were not sure of what they were doing. So it is what we call try and lock. They were not sure. They tested Nigeria. They tested the intellectual capacity of Nigerians. They tested what the power you have as a electorate. They tested it, and all of you failed. And you know what? They are coming to do. I told you people, you see this presidency, because there is no president. You see this presidency, if they want to stay for the next 30 years, if Biafra did not come, or if we are still fighting for Biafra, but God forbid. But if they want to stay till the next 30 years, you see this presidency, they are going to stay for next 30 years. And guess what? You will do nothing. The only thing that will save you is us, Biafra agitators. Biafrans are the thing, and if Oduduwa rise up today, they are the only one, and Biafrans that will save you. If not, if we all keep quiet now and say, okay, you people live in Nigeria, this government, you see, will stay 30 years. Is it not happening in Russia? Did you see the new amendment of law in Russia? The Putin amended the constitution of Russia to allow him to stay till the kingdom come. Did you not see Mugabe? It is happening, and if they want to do it because they have tested you, they will do it, and you cannot do nothing until you have the balls, until you realize and denounce Nigeria, before you can come back to your senses and begin to think that you don't belong here. Because it is jungle. It is more than a jungle. I call it evil forest. It is more than a jungle. But you will not think until something happened to you or your immediate family member before you can wake up and begin to shout. Now let me read it, because while I'm reading this is a direct response from this your current CGN. I want to see from which side of the Constitution, from which section of the Constitution did he think that the president can actually sack him or sack the water on her head without consulting or without going due process. Let us not even mention the Judicial Commission and the national whatever. Let us just use the word, very easy one, without going due process. Now, let me continue. Justice Mohammed equally maintained that there was also no need for President Buhari to approach the Senate for support by majority of 2/3 vote before the SY CGN could be suspended from office. Now, you see, when you see people that are not qualified to head a particular office, when you see the reasoning of those who are incompetent, who are not qualified, I think the incompetence is not even because somebody can qualify to hold office but is not competent. So I think it is two different things. So I will not use the competence because it means that he may qualify. But in this case, somebody who is not qualified, how to know how to know someone who is not qualified to hold a particular office that is appointed to is this cut and join you are seeing here. I want to tell you something. Watch. You see this thing you see here. He said the CGN, the president, he said there was also no need for President Buhari to approach the Senate for support by majority of 2/3 votes before the SY CGN could be suspended from office. Now, what I want to let you understand is this. The question you should ask the CGN, where did he derive this majority of 2/3 vote from? This is a question. Where did he get the majority of 2/3 vote from? Where? It is from a document. So where? From which document? From which document? Is from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You see? So which means if he can say that the president do not need to consult the Senate for support by majority of 2/3 votes, means that actually somebody should have consulted the Senate, the National Assembly, and if possible, of course, it is not everything that will be put to vote. Like you see, when the plenary session is going on, you will say those who support say aye, those who don't support say nay. So it is the voice of the people who say aye or who say nay will determine whether the president of the Senate will say, okay, let us put into voting. So it is not everything that actually goes through the voting process. Now, where did he get this word that majority of 2/3 votes? The majority of the third vote is that after the due process, this is part of the due process, of course, it has to be taken to the Senate, to the National Assembly, for a proper touch of the law, because they are the lawmaker. You see, and not the Senate president or the senators will make a decision. They have this committee. They may have committee on judiciary, committee on this, committee on that. So when this kind of thing goes to the Senate National Assembly, they will hand it over to the committee on judiciary. And the committee on judiciary will have experts, what we call experts, those who will now be on advisory role to interpret Nigeria Constitution, to tell them well-learned people, to advise the Senate, because the senators they are nothing. They don't know nothing. These senators don't know anything. They are just there. The PAs are working for them. This committee, they appoint some expert and this. They don't know nothing. They are lawmakers. Did any of them read law? None of them. Only few of them knows knows something about Constitution. So, but they are making the law, enacting stupid laws. You see, that is why somebody will come and say, if you go to social media, you'll be killed. Because they don't know they don't know that this is 21st century. You know, the Declaration of Human Rights to anything, right to this, right to that, they don't know it. So these senators don't know nothing. Now, when you go to that committee on judiciary, or whatever the name will be, they will now be the one to make their findings on whether it is a directive from whichever body that will come from. They will now present it to the Senate floor. But they didn't do all that. And that is why this issue is going. That is why people will always know that this country has failed. And that is why the president can never respect you. They can never respect you. This man, this senior advocate of Nigeria, and any other person who is thinking that only now that the president made a mistake, they should have a rethink. It is very, very wrong. And it is an insult on intelligence of ordinary mind and plain thinking Nigerians, like most of us. It is an insult because a lot has happened in Nigeria. The president has breached the constitution and you did not talk. Only when Lagos is restricted from movement, even when it is constitutional, it is not even constitutional, but when it is right, because of the epidemic, because of the Ebola epidemic. Anyway, this is where I want to divert. I want to give you another 5 minutes for something different, totally different. Something totally different. Something totally different. Something totally different. Now, remember, in 1967, the Biafra War was between 5,000 soldiers of Biafra and over 30,000 soldiers of Nigeria. Do you see the margin? And the war lasted 3 years. The war lasted 3 years. And of course, everybody knows the history, how the war ended because of the hunger and all that. But this time around, if it is coming to that, it is going to be a different ball game. First of all, Biafra have men, millions of men. It is not going to be what you saw or what you were told in the 60s. We are all out. Freedom doesn't come easy. We are prepared, getting prepared for inevitable. Now, I want to play something to you, and I will translate because it is not in English.
Suoraan Biafrasta on tänne studion saapunut toimittajamme Pekka Peltola. Hän kertoo tässä kuulumisiaan ja keskustelukumppanina on Hannu Reime.
Sinulla, kuten muillakin Biafrassa käyneillä, oli vaikeuksia päästä tähän saarrettuun maahan. Minkälaisia nämä vaikeudet olivat ja kuinka lopulta pääsit Biafraan?
Niin, ensimmäiset vaikeudet olivat luonteeltaan jollakin tavalla poliittisia. Biafran hallitus ei halunnut ottaa lehtimiehiä vastaan aikana, jolloin sotilaallinen tilanne oli kovin vaikea. Toinen vaikeus oli Nigerian sotilaallinen tilanne oli kovin vaikea. Biafran hallitus ei halunnut ottaa lehtimiehiä vastaan aikana, jolloin sotilaallinen tilanne oli kovin vaikea. Toinen vaikeus oli Nigerian ilmatorjunta ja sitten pommikoneet, jotka pommittivat kentän, tämän ainoan varsinaisen lentokentän Biafrassa, juuri kun meidän piti sinne laskeutua ja meidän piti jo kerran palata takaisinkin.
So, this is what you are listening to now. It is just 4 minutes. What you are listening to now is a voice of a Finnish journalist who traveled to Biafra land. And they couldn't allow him to enter Biafra land to cover what was going on there. And he is telling his experience, how the Nigeria government was bombarding. They focused on the airport, the only airport in Biafra land where aeroplane should have just come and land and maybe drop food or something. They were busy bombarding that place so that there will be no any airport in Biafra land. And this is what this man is saying, but there is a reason I am playing this audio now. Listen again.
Avustuskuljetuksista Biafraan on kiistelty kovin paljon. Minkälaisen vaikutelman sait niiden tehokkuudesta, ollessasi toisaalta Sao Tomella ja toisaalta Biafrassa?
Niin, avustuskuljetukset ovat niin kuin tällä hetkellä, ne pyörivät aika mukavasti sillä kapasiteetilla, mikä on käytettävissä. Siis ruokaahan Sao Tomella on vaikka kuinka paljon. Lentokoneitakin on jonkin verran, mutta ei tarpeeksi, mutta sen sijaan sitten puuttuu lentäjiä, jotka uskaltavat lentää tuonne Biafraan.
Sinä kävit Biafrassa pakolaisleiri.
He is saying, this is a Finnish man, he is saying that they have food they wanted to deliver to the Biafran people, but because of the situation that even pilots are afraid to fly to Biafra land because of the bombardment from the Nigerian military, and they were having difficulties in delivering food to Biafra land. This is from Finland.
Kuinka paljon nälkä vaatii päivittäin kuolonuhreja?
No, sitä lukua ei oikeastaan kukaan osaa sanoa.
They asked him, how many people are dying every day in Biafra land? He said, nobody can actually give the estimate or can actually give the exact numbers of children that are dying in Biafra land.
Caritaasin arviot ovat 15 000 päivässä.
And according to Carita, it was about 15,000 children were dying every day.
Joku toinen Punaisen Ristin edustaja sanoi, että niitä on useita tuhansia.
And the other Red Cross representative were estimating that about so many thousands were dying every day.
Itse arvelisin, niin kuin, että se luku ehkä on 3000 tai sen alle, mutta sitä ei voi kukaan oikeastaan tarkasti.
And he is suggesting that maybe it's about 3,000 every day. Sorry, I think 1,500 before, and now he's saying that it's about 3,000 every day.
Sanoa, koska ei ole mitään tilastoja siellä.
And he said that nobody can say the exact number of children that were dying because there is no data. There is no data. There is nothing like data to keep the record.
On melkoinen väentungos tällä pienellä alueella, jolle Biafran väestö on nyt ahdettu. Mutta joka tapauksessa on varmaa, että useimmista pakolaisleireistä, tai ainakin hyvin useista, päivittäin kuolee 20-30 ihmistä. Näitä leirejä on.
In different refugee camps in Biafra land, at least they were recording some, couple of 20 kids dying every day from each refugee center.
Satoja siitä voi sitten laskea.
Kummalla Biafran väestönosalla yleensä on huonommat elinolosuhteet, pakolaisilla vai niillä, jotka ovat saaneet asua omilla kotiseuduillaan?
No kyllä pakolaiset ovat kaikkein huonommassa asemassa, ja nyt on oikeastaan jo vanhentunut ajatella, että pakolaisleireillä olijoilla olisi vaikeinta. Vaikeinta on niille, jotka eivät mahdu pakolaisleireille, ja heitä on yhä lisääntyvä määrä. Ehkä
The problem the Biafrans were facing that time, there were people of Biafra who could not fit in these refugee centers, and those are the people that we are facing a lot of difficulties.
On lähes 6 miljoonaa tällä hetkellä, ja he ovat vain maaseudun kyliin tuttaviinsa luohtautuneita tai pelkästään kulkevat pitkin maantietä kohti tuntematonta
Like Biafra, the people there were about 6 million.
Määrää heille itselleenkin tuntematonta.
Uutistoimisto Tape ja Reuters välittivät tänään tiedon, jonka mukaan Biafran hallintokaupunki Aba olisi tänään vallattu. Jos Aba nyt vallataan, niin merkitseekö se Biafran lopullista tuhoutumista?
And this day when this man was asking this, he was telling them that Aba, the city of Aba has been run over by the military. And does it mean that if Aba has been run over, it means that they have finished Biafra or what?
Niin, ensinnäkin tämä uutinen on englantilaisista lähteistä peräisin lähetetty Port Harcourtista, joka on Nigerian hallussa pitämä.
And this is a report, according to them, the report is coming, we are coming from an Englishman. And this journalist now was telling this man that, yes, the report is originally from this Englishman. And of course, he should understand that the Nigeria is under the control of was under the control of the British government. So this man who wrote this thing that Aba has been run over or taken over by the Nigerian military are, of course, agents of the British.
Ja nyt on ehkä syytä suhtautua hiukan varauksella uutisiin Aban valtauksista, jotka tulevat pelkästään tästä lähteestä, koska juuri näitä uutisia on jo useampaan otteeseen jouduttu kumoamaan. Mutta toisaalta Aban tilanne on hyvin vaikea, ja oikeastaan todennäköisenä pitää tämän alueen sotilaskomentaja, että se tullaan valtaamaan, ellei avustustilanteessa tapahdu muuta.
He is explaining that Aba was in a very difficult situation at that moment.
Tämä tarkoittaa siis aseiden ja ammusten tuontia. Ja Aba on erittäin tärkeä kyllä, sehän on yksi tämän strategisen kolmion kärjistä, ja jos se menetetään, silloin ovat kaikki tiet ikään kuin avoinna.
And he is trying to explain that yes, Aba was a very strategic place for Biafrans. That of course, if Aba is conquered, if they have run over or taken over Aba, it means that the other places, is now open to this Nigeria military. That Aba is a very strategic place for Biafrans.
Liittovaltion joukoille edetä muualle Biafraa.
Biafran lopullisesta valtauksesta on jo huhuttu kauan aikaa, ja näyttää siltä, kuin tämä lopullinen hyökkäys olisi pitkittynyt. Minkä syiden luulet vaikuttaneen ratkaisevimmin tähän pitkittymiseen?
No lähinnä kai biafralaisten raju vastarinta. Biafrahan siis on aivan selvästi, biafralaiset ovat päättäneet, että he eivät antaudu koskaan. Jos kaikki kaupungit vallataan, he siirtyvät metsiin ja jatkavat sieltä sissisotana sitten.
And one thing, this man, okay, now it has, right, now, one thing this man said, why I played this video is this last word this man said. Let me play it again.
Raju vastarinta. Biafrahan siis on aivan selvästi, biafralaiset ovat päättäneet, että he eivät antaudu koskaan, jatkavat sieltä sissisotana sitten.
Yes.
Suoraan Biafrasta on tänne.
This is what I want to play this evening. This man said that Biafrans have decided that they will never give up. That even if the whole Biafra land were taken by Nigeria military, they are going to be fighting from the forest and from the bushes. Of course, you will not understand this word until you come to a certain state of mind. They asked him, what is going on? Because Nigeria military are running over Aba. So what did he said that Biafrans have said they are never giving up. That this war, they will fight until if the entire state, entire city of Biafra is taken over, they will be fighting from the forest. You know, when you listen to this kind of thing, you will see the agony. You will see the danger that Biafrans were going through and what they saw. And they wanted to give their life to make sure they liberate you. That is today, sitting in your comfort zone. That is today, complaining about the present Nigeria, but you cannot denounce it. You see? He said that Nigeria, the Biafrans vowed that they will not stop this war. Even if the whole Biafra land is taken over, they will be fighting from the bushes. You see that what they saw, and what we have seen, and they are coming now for Biafra, it will, you need to open your mind to see that Nigeria is not for you. For these people to have zeroed their mind until what the story of what happened, of course, everybody knows the story, how the war ended, how they abdicated and whatever, or somebody surrendered and all that. But the fact is that the Biafrans, as of then, saw what Nigeria is. And they all vowed to die. For the last man standing. And it ended the way it ended. But what I want to tell Nigeria government is that now is a new generation of Biafra they have never seen before. This generation of Biafra is the generation that will restore Biafra. We, the generation of this Biafra, is the generation that Nigeria government will see and they will never see. They will never live to experience what we will do to get Biafra, because we will stop at nothing. And all the millions of Biafrans that were killed for fighting for justice, they can never go in vain. We have come. And we are not starting from where they stopped, because the war has continued since 1970 till now. But guess what? We have come to change the narrative. And by the time we start, the entire world will know. This Biafra freedom has become the biggest movement. The biggest movement in human history. Forget what the biggest movement. Anywhere you are, whoever you are, if you are a Biafran, it is time you swallow your pride and join the force for the liberation of your people. We cannot continue to live like this. We cannot continue to nurse our grudges, our differences in Nigeria. It can never work. And delay is dangerous. Delay is very, very dangerous. Delay is dangerous. Thank you for watching me today. And share this video. Let those people who are condemning this presidency now know that he has committed impeachable offense since 2016. And they all kept quiet. Nobody talked. And now they are reaping their impunity. they are reaping their impunity and evil mind because it is affecting everybody now. The president can never give a damn. So the only solution is disintegrating Nigeria, and that will put an end to all these things you see, all this impunity, all this killing, all this terrorism, everything will end. Once Nigeria is disintegrated, you will see Yoruba, you will see Oduduwa will flourish, you will see Biafra will flourish. Any other country that want to break out of Nigeria, then they are free. Nobody is dragging anybody to any country. If you want to free from Nigeria, any country at all, you are free. Only come and put your thing on the table. It is democracy. Thank you. Join Biafra agitators and let your mental slavery end today. Wait for my next video.